Level 1. The Flailers. Every witch and wizard begins here, the chaotic first stage where the wand seems to have a mind of its own. Flailers are the walking definition of magical instability. Their grip is tight, their confidence non-existent, and they're spelled. Unpredictable explosions of light, smoke, or unintended chaos. This is the point where the wand controls the wizard, not the other way around. The wood resists, the core misfires, and every incantation feels like gambling with the laws of nature. Flailers live in the emotional storm that fuels early magic. Fear, excitement, or embarrassment can send their spells flying in any direction. They over-enunciate, wave their arms too broadly, and focus so much on pronunciation that they forget about intent, the very essence of controlled magic. And intent is everything. Without it, even the simplest lumos risks igniting something flammable nearby. In Hogwarts history, few embodied this chaos more vividly than Neville Longbottom. In his first year, his wand work was so erratic that professors learned to keep a healing salve within reach. But Neville's struggles weren't just clumsiness. His wand originally belonged to his father, and wands rarely cooperate with borrowed owners. The result was a perfect storm of emotional mismatch and magical resistance. Then there's Ron Weasley, who accidentally pioneered self-inflicted curses when his broken wand backfired during a slug-eating charm. Every misfire he endured came from the same flaw, a damaged conduit trying to channel unstable intent. And of course, Gilderoy Lockhart, who proved that confidence alone does not equal competence. His wand flailed as dramatically as he did, resulting in accidental self-stunning and, eventually, total memory loss, courtesy of his own spell.
Hello. Who are you?
What defines the flailer isn't failure, but disconnection. The wand hasn't yet learned its wielder's rhythm, and the wizard hasn't learned to trust the wand. Every spark, mistake, and explosion is part of that painful conversation between fear and focus, the foundation from which all real mastery begins. Level 2. The Apprentices. At this stage, the chaos begins to settle. The wand finally listens, mostly, and the wizard begins to act less like a hazard and more like a student. Apprentices are the witches and wizards who've survived the flailing phase and learned the first rule of wandcraft. Control is a conversation, not a command. Spells start to form the way they should, incantations sound almost confident, and for the first time, magic bends, if not gracefully, at least reliably. Apprenticeship is all about coordination. Every motion matters. The wrist flick, the syllable rhythm, even the breath between words. It's here that spellcasting transforms from instinctive panic into technical precision. The wand becomes a musical instrument, and the wizard is still learning not to play off-key. Most apprentices cling to textbooks like lifelines, following diagrams and instructions word for word, terrified of improvising. The result? Magic that works, but only under perfect classroom conditions. In Hogwarts history, this stage produced some iconic examples. Hermione Granger, the model student, delivered flawless pronunciation and textbook-perfect form. But early on, she was more technician than artist. Her magic lacked intuition, the very thing that separates precision from true mastery. Then there's Seamus Finnegan, Hogwarts' unofficial demolition expert. His spells technically worked, but his control over magical energy was like handing fireworks to a pyromaniac. Each incantation ended in a small mushroom cloud of singed eyebrows and flying feathers. Harry Potter himself hovered in this tier during his early years. His Expelliarmus could either disarm an opponent neatly or launch them across the room like a bludger.
Expelliarmus!
For apprentices, that unpredictability is normal. Emotion still leaks into their casting, amplifying results or dulling them entirely. What defines the apprentice isn't raw power, it's structure. They've learned to respect magic, not fear it. Their spells have form, their wands respond with recognition, and the first traces of instinct begin to bloom beneath the rigidity, but it's still a fragile balance, one shaky breath away from chaos returning. Level 3. The Competence. By the third level, the wand no longer feels foreign. The spells land where they're meant to, and the wizard finally stops holding their breath every time they cast. Competents are the calm center of the magical storm, steady, dependable, and capable of turning theory into execution without panic. Their casting isn't flashy, but it works. Every spell hums with intent rather than luck, and for the first time, the line between mind and motion begins to blur. Competents understand something most apprentices never quite grasp. Precision beats power. They've learned that shouting louder doesn't make Alohomora open a door faster.
Alohomora!
Instead, they focus on flow, the exact angle of a wand movement, the tone of the voice, the emotion under control. Magic responds not to volume, but to clarity. At this level, spells become routine. Defensive charms, levitations, transfigurations, all handled with the same calm rhythm as brewing tea. Hermione Granger reached this level early, her technique sharpened to perfection. Her spells were crisp, controlled, and consistent, each one delivered like punctuation in a well-written sentence. But mastery isn't just precision, it's adaptation. That's what Remus Lupin embodied. His wand work carried a quiet confidence, fluid, deliberate, and deeply intuitive. Lupin didn't just know spells, he understood what they were for. When facing a boggart, he didn't overpower it, he disarmed it through understanding. Then there's Arthur Weasley, a master of the mundane. His magic wasn't for duels, it was for creation. Enchanted cars, mechanical charms, improvised gadgets. His magic flowed from curiosity rather than combat. He represented the other side of competence, functional, inventive, quietly brilliant. The competent wizard is defined by consistency. They no longer need to rehearse incantations or double-check their form. Their wands follow their will almost naturally, though still within limits. It's the level where magic becomes habit, predictable, measured, safe. Yet just beneath that calm surface lies potential energy. Because once control becomes instinct, the next step is to let go of control entirely. Level 4. The Dualists. Here, wand mastery shifts from discipline to instinct. The dualist doesn't think in spells, they think in rhythm. Casting becomes movement, defense becomes reflex, and the wand transforms from a tool into an extension of the body. This is the level where combat artistry is born. Quick, fluid, and terrifyingly efficient. Dualists read opponents like sheet music, responding to every flick of a wrist with split-second precision. At this stage, non-verbal magic becomes the norm. Words slow you down. Intent takes over. Every spell is executed in motion, chained, redirected, and repurposed mid-flight. Timing replaces strength as the key factor. 1/2 second too late, and even the most powerful wizard can fall. True dualists train not for power, but for tempo, each spell a beat in a deadly dance. Their wands rarely rest, their focus never breaks. Sirius Black embodied this level at his peak. His magic was instinctive, almost reckless, yet perfectly coordinated. During the battle at the Department of Mysteries, his teamwork with Harry displayed the signature of a trained dualist. Offensive and defensive magic woven seamlessly into one flow. Bellatrix Lestrange, however, represented the opposite side of the same skill set, chaos disguised as control. Her dueling was wild but precise, unpredictable but devastating. Her wand danced like fire, erratic yet unrelenting. What made her truly dangerous wasn't her power, but her psychology. She broke her opponent's composure before their defenses. Harry Potter reached this tier by necessity, not design. Forced into life-or-death battles long before graduation, he developed a dueling style built on instinct and speed rather than refinement. His Expelliarmus became more than a disarming charm. It was a reflex honed into a weapon. By the time of the Battle of Hogwarts, his reactions alone could hold against seasoned Death Eaters. Dualists mark the turning point of true mastery. They no longer separate casting from movement or thought from instinct. Their magic flows, continuous and unpredictable. But their greatest strength, a complete fusion of instinct and speed, can also become their weakness. Because at this level, one misjudged heartbeat can decide everything. Level 5. The Masters. At the 5th level, the line between wizard and wand disappears. The master doesn't perform magic. They are magic. Every movement is economical, every spell precise. Casting no longer requires conscious effort. The wand moves before the mind finishes the thought. This is where decades of discipline, instinct, and raw connection fuse into seamless control. Masters don't fight magic, they conduct it, as effortlessly as breathing. Non-verbal casting here is second nature. Even wandless magic begins to appear, not as showmanship, but as necessity. These witches and wizards understand the true principle of mastery: restraint. Power is no longer the goal, efficiency is. They know exactly how much energy each spell needs, wasting nothing. A duel against a master feels unfair because the opponent always seems a beat too slow, as if the outcome was decided before the first incantation. Snape defines this level with chilling precision. His wand motions are almost invisible, his spells silent and surgical. He doesn't posture or waste effort. His magic simply happens. The Half-Blood Prince's personal spellcraft, from Sectum Sempra to Vulnera Sanintur, proves a mind that reshaped existing magic with mathematical clarity. His duels end before most realize they've begun. Then there's Minerva McGonagall, whose transfiguration mastery borders on orchestral. During the Battle of Hogwarts, she animated the castle itself, an entire army commanded through one wand. Her elegance disguises her dominance, proof that precision can rival raw power. Mad-Eye Moody stands as a more brutal example. His mastery came not from elegance, but survival. His spells strike like artillery, relentless, calculated, unflinching. His wandcraft was built on paranoia and precision forged in battle, every movement a result of hard-earned instinct. What binds all masters together is composure. Their casting is quiet, measured, and utterly confident. Watching one at work is unsettling. The wand barely moves, yet the world bends. This is the level where emotion and intellect merge, where thought alone carries weight. Beyond this, there are no more lessons, only transformation, because when mastery becomes instinct, the final level begins to reveal itself. Level 6. The Legends. This is the summit of wand mastery, the point where magic no longer feels like a force to be commanded, but an extension of being. Legends are those rare witches and wizards who move beyond mastery into something mythic. Their wands no longer channel spells, they become them. Every duel, every flick of motion, reshapes the air around them. To watch a legend cast is to witness reality adjusting to their will. At this level, the connection between wizard and wand is symbiotic. Thought and action merge into one. The need for incantations vanishes. Spells form from pure intent, and the boundaries of known magic begin to dissolve. Legends don't simply cast faster, they bend the rules themselves. They manipulate the tempo of battle, redirect energy mid-flight, and anticipate spells before they're spoken. Even silence around them feels charged, as if the world itself is waiting for permission to move. Albus Dumbledore exemplified this transcendence. His duels were less combat than choreography. In his legendary confrontation with Voldemort at the Ministry, every gesture became a command to the elements. Fire, water, and glass bending to his calm precision. His control wasn't brute power, it was harmony. He didn't dominate magic, he harmonized with it. Voldemort, by contrast, represents mastery corrupted by obsession. His spells slice through air with surgical brutality. What makes him terrifying isn't raw strength, but economy, the absolute minimal motion needed to destroy. His magic is perfection, stripped of compassion, refined into lethal art. Against him, defense feels meaningless because he wastes nothing, not even breath. And then there's Gellert Grindelwald, the performer of destruction. His wand work is fluid, almost seductive, his magic woven with persuasion as much as power. Grindelwald duels like a philosopher. He dismantles opponents mentally before striking physically. Every move serves both strategy and statement. Legends transcend wand technique. Their understanding of magic cannot be replicated through study. It's a state of being. When two such forces collide, the world bends. Stone melts, air fractures, and silence lingers long after. For these few, magic no longer serves them. It simply is them.